Now, first of all, I want to start off this with telling everyone what an integrated development is. Now, for those who have been in the industry long enough to know what this is, please pardon me. I'm just going to go through a little bit more because I believe there are some of us here who might be newer and may not fully understand what an integrated development is. So now, there is no official definition of what an integrated development is. Right? What I mean by no official definition means if you try to find an official definition, there is no official definition. Okay, so it's actually largely based on what the market perceives it to be. Right? What the people think it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to show you what are the parameters later. Now, of course, in Singapore, we know it as integrated developments. If you go and search hard enough, okay, around the world, there's no integrated developments, okay, in overseas, but they have a transit-oriented development. It's called transit-oriented development. Okay, so that is actually what is termed as around other countries, okay, globally, right? But it's actually very popular. Okay, it's actually very, very popular. All right. Now, what are the things that I will look out for to kind of determine if it's an integrated development? Okay, these are the things that I would look out for. I'll look out for the zoning. Later, I'll tell you more about this zoning. Okay, it must have a good size mall, right? Because malls are very important. It's one of the main things that you need to have. Transport nodes and other commercial functions. Okay, so this is what I'm going to go into. Now, first of all, for zoning side, there are a lot of developments, or should I say projects, right, that actually have the property on top. You have a condo on top, full-fledged, beautiful condo with a lot of facilities, a swimming pool, tennis court. You have it on top, and below you have shops. Okay. However, I do not term some of them as integrated developments. Now, but first of all, let me teach you how I will identify. I'll look at the zoning. You go to URA master plan, okay, you will be able to see the zoning, right? The zoning of the developments. You will see the different color plots, right? Okay, so this is how I identify. So usually below the integrated development is the mixed development. We call it mixed development. Okay, they are usually zoned residential with commercial at the first story, which means only your first story can have residential components. Okay, so with this, you can actually see that if you only have first story as a commercial component, all right, you may not be able to have a very big size mall. Okay, hence the big size mall portion does not fulfill. Hence, you see here, this is the color code for the residential with commercial at first story. Okay, so for zoning, if you see this, likely we will term it more as a mixed development. Now, integrated developments are usually zoned commercial and residential and upwards. So you see commercial and residential, this is the blue color one, the blue color title. So for reserved residences, right, it is actually zoned in this color. Okay, now so some other developments, right, okay, have more than one level of commercial entities, right, excluding childcare. For integrated development, they have a few levels. The basement one, level 2, excluding childcare. I would think that would actually be more appropriate to be called an integrated development. So other zonings that you actually get to see is commercial plots. You have some commercial plots, like for example, if you see Warwick Residences, okay, it is zoned as commercial, and they actually have the building on top, the residential portion on top. Sorry, actually it's not hotel. It's supposed to be a white. So yeah, this circle is supposed to go to white. Okay, so some of them white sites. For example, Marina 1 is a white site. The upcoming government land sale that was bidded, Marina View, okay, that is also under white site. Now, what is the difference when you actually have commercial and white site as an integrated development? Now, when you actually have the blue color, that means blue color and below. So that means you have commercial and residential. Okay, and residential with commercial at first property, these are all subjected to your 5-year ABSD. That means if 5 years cannot sell finish, then they will kena the ABSD. They will have to pay the ABSD. Okay, in short. Now, for those that are zoned as commercial or white sites, if they cannot sell beyond the 5 years, they do not attract they do not have to attract the ABSD. They do not have to pay the ABSD. Now, what are the examples of this? Like, for example, if you go and see recently Pasir Ris 8. Pasir Ris 8 is built on top of a commercial zone. Okay, so and hence, for Pasir Ris 8, if they don't sell in 5 years, they don't have the ABSD. Now, how about other examples? Will be like your 𝗺𝗏 as well, because it's built on the commercial zone. 𝗺𝗏 residences also do not attract ABSD after 5 years. Okay, so some interesting things for you to note on this. Okay, now let me give you some examples of mixed development projects with first story zone as commercial. So we are now going into this one. Okay, this one, residential with commercial at first story. Okay. So these are the ones that you probably might have heard of. 𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏 is at Redhill. It is actually right beside Redhill MRT, one single story. Now remember, but some of you might say that, you know, 𝗧𝗏 got childcare on the second floor, ma. So remember the childcare component does not, it's not included in the first story plan. Okay, so 𝗧𝗏. East Village, this will be in Simpang Bedok, East Village. Very nice, quaint place where you have a lot of shops facing the car park. Bukit Timah Suites, this will be actually very near to reserve residences. This one is actually where you have this one durian store there, I can't remember the name. Alexis, this will be at Alexandra Road, near to IKEA. Icon at Tanjong Pagar. Icon at Tanjong Pagar, this is actually near to your International Plaza. This is by Far East also. Stars of Kovan, this is at the Kovan MRT station, done by the Lee Ka-shing Group. Novena Regency, this used to be the one with the famous chicken rice many years ago. Okay. Long House would be the Thomson at Upper Thomson Road. Rise at Oxley will be nearer to your Devonshire and near to Orchard Road. Okay, so these are examples of mixed development projects with first story zone as commercial. So these are not integrated developments. Now, of course, now we move on to good size malls. Now, no integrated projects is without a good size mall. It is either direct access to it or linked to it. Okay, all developments, all integrated projects will have a good size mall. So these malls must be non-strata titled malls, okay? I.e., it must be owned by a single entity and wholly run and managed by them. Now, let me give you an example. You go to Citygate. Okay, how many? I think some of you might know. Okay, I think I need to ask questions along the way, so that you all don't get drowned in this. Now, how many of you know what is Citygate? Where's Citygate? Can you give me a C in the chat, please? C. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Zendra, I will come back to you on your question later, Okay, C, Okay, C. So Citygate is actually linked to Nicoll Highway MRT. All right, it has 3 levels of shop, basement 1, 2, 3. 3 levels of shop. So some people, is this an integrated development? The answer is no. I will term this as a mixed development. Now, these shops are all individual owner occupied. That means owner use, they own the unit individually, okay, and hence, all right, I do not use this as, I will not term this as the integrated development. They are all strata titled. Yes, thanks, Jennifer. They are all strata titled malls. Okay, so for integrated developments, I would term them be used as, I say, CapitaLand, Far East, Fraser. This is, you hear at all these are actually your popular mall management companies. Okay, Singapore Press Holdings, Mapletree, Landlease, Starhill. So of course, CapitaLand, Far East, Frasers, I think you all are familiar. Singapore Press Holdings, they actually will run the upcoming mall at the Woodley Residences, and the Seletar Mall is also run by them. Mapletree runs, of course, your VivoCity. Landlease does your the Jurong. Yeah, the Park Place Residences, you actually have the GEM, it's also by Landlease. Starhill runs your Wisma Atria and runs your Ngee Ann City, right? So these are actually a single entity that runs them. Okay, so this is a sign that it's actually integrated. Okay, now, however, some of these developments with a good size mall it's not linked to a transport node, right? Okay, this does not fall under integrated development. So what are them? Okay, what are they? These are some examples. Queensway Shopping Centre. So I believe a lot of us here, if you are similar age as me, you will know Queensway Shopping Centre. We go and bargain for our sports shoes last time. All right, Queensway Shopping Centre. Anchorage. Okay, Anchorage is also not under integrated development. The Quest, Dairy Farm, 𝗵𝗫𝗀, Junction 10, Scott Square, Far East Plaza, International Plaza. Okay, this all does not fall under the integrated developments. All right. Okay, now we move on to transportation. So all integrated developments are linked to an MRT station. So this is a must. Okay, this is a must, non-negotiable. It must be linked to an MRT station. A few will have LRTs linked to it. In fact, three of them will have LRT. 𝗵𝗫𝗀𝗃𝗃 Mall. You have the Sengkang, which is Campus Heights, and lastly Watertown. These are the three that has LRT links to it. Some integrated developments will feature a bus interchange as well. These are known as your integrated transport hubs, ITH. Okay, I will use a lot ITH here. So in case you see ITH, they mean integrated transport hub. So you can see a picture here. This is a picture of Yishun Integrated Transport Hub that is linked to your North Park residences. Now, what are the integrated developments with the ITH? These are the ones. Campus Heights. This is in Sengkang. This is actually the first integrated development ever developed in Singapore. Campus Heights, that's in Sengkang. The Centuries, this will be in Jurong West, Boon Lay lah. Okay, this is with what is that condo called? Not Jurong Point. Jurong Point. Centuries is linked to Jurong Point. Batok Residences, one of the most popular with long queue. In 2011, there was a long queue to go and buy Batok Residences. 𝗵𝗫𝗀 Residences, this one very close to my heart because I used to stay right across 𝗵𝗫𝗀 Residences. Watertown, this is in your Punggol. North Park Residences, this will be Yishun. The Woodley Residences just fully sold. This will be in the Woodley, the new Woodley Mall and the whole entire Bidadari area. And of course, Sengkang Grand Residences, this will be at your near to what's that? Buangkok. It's at Buangkok. Okay. So now other commercial functions. Some integrated developments are connected with other common functions such as offices and hotels. So these are usually found in the city or near to the city. So the ones that we featured just now, Marina One Residences, Dual Residences, these are actually the two pieces of land that was traded with the Malaysian government for our rail. So these ones will have your offices and hotels linked to it. That's for Dual hotel. South Beach Residences, okay, this one got hotel and some retail functions. Warwick Residences, of course, this one will be your Tanjong Pagar that has offices, and Park Place, which has your offices as well. So these will be the ones, okay, that has offices or hotels and all hotels. Now, I actually did a summary. This is not I do one. This one is actually off the nets, but you can actually see that this is actually the whole entire list, not including the upcoming ones of the integrated developments. That breaks down to your shopping size and your residential units. Notably, the biggest in this is North Park Residences with a shopping size of 1.33 million square feet of shopping spaces or commercial spaces. This is the biggest lah. All right. So you can actually take reference from this to see how big. So that means, okay, if you know reserve residences will have about 20,000 square meters, which works out to be about almost 220,000 square feet. So a good reference from this is you can go and see Batok Mall. Batok Mall should be very close, okay, in terms of the size of the mall functions of the reserve residences. Okay, so if anyone asks you, just say, oh, it's about the same size as Batok Mall. That will be the most ideal way to put across. Okay, so far, is there any questions? Anyone has any questions that Okay, so I'm going to answer Sandra. Luxury Eden residences linked to City Hall, MRT. I won't term. Actually, that's a very good question. Okay, now I won't term that as integrated development. Okay, in terms of the link to MRT, I don't think it's actually that closely linked, right? But never mind, let me take a look at this later. Okay, and I will get back to you. Okay, I'm going to move on. Now, so I'm going to go a little bit more into the data portion. All right, this is the part that I'm going to try to make it as interesting as possible. Okay, so why look into integrated developments with ITH, with an integrated transport hub? Now, because for our development, okay, the reserve residences, it will be the integrated development with an integrated transport hub. So I will focus on this rather than those without an integrated transport hub. Okay. Now, first of all, I think most of us have clients who wants to buy a product, okay, wants to buy a product that can actually make money. Okay, I think the word make money is important, right? Because first of all, you buy, you don't lose money, you must make money. You must be able to sustain the value or make money. Okay, and one of the things that will sustain value, okay, in my opinion, is to buy something that is rare. So let's look at the numbers. Now, according to SingStats, which is Singapore Statistics .gov.sg, SingStats, right? This is an official government website that gives you all the necessary data for you to chart a lot of stuff. So I always use this. There are a total of 306,512 private properties in Singapore. Okay, so total numbers of private properties in Singapore, 306,512. For integrated developments, there are a total number of 8,944 integrated developments as of now, which equates to 2.9% of the total stock. Now, 2.9%. Can you imagine if you equate the whole Singapore freehold properties? Well, some people say, hey, I want to buy freehold. Why freehold? Freehold lesser, more rare. Right? Okay, sure, no problem. We talk about rare, right? Freehold is approximately 20+% of Singapore stock in property. In private property, 21%. Okay, but of course, for integrated developments, we are far lesser than 21%. We are actually 2.9% of the total stock. Okay, first of all, you can tell your clients, Mr. Client, you want to buy rare because very rare, By very rare means it should be able to hold value and grow in value, right? So 2.9% of the total stock. Now, for integrated developments, with the integrated transport hub, actually, I thought ID with ITH, which equates to, which is actually 5,536 units. It equates to only 1.8%, okay, 1.8% of the total private property stock. So can you imagine now, you only have 1.8%, 1.8%, okay, private properties that are actually integrated developments with the integrated transport hub. Quite a mouthful. Okay, and hence that's why if you want to talk about buying rare, we only have 1.8%. All right, can you imagine your reserve residences will be one of these 1.8%? I think when I tell my clients this, when I tell my clients, Mr. Client, actually, do you want to be top 1.8%? No, not top 1.8%. You want to be only 1.8% and one of the 1.8% or not? Okay, I think this is a very good opening pitch because this conditions your buyer to know that, wow, I'm buying something that a lot of people do not have or will not have. I'm owning a piece of rarity. So this sets you in the tone to make them interested. Right? Whenever we do our sales, whenever we do sales, we want to be able to make them feel interested first. Because if you don't make them feel interested, whatever little things you share with them, they cannot absorb. But if you can make them interested first, like, wow, only 1.8%, interesting. All right? They will be able to absorb the things that you're going to tell them. All right? All right, so this number can grab some. Don't worry, these slides, I think they will be shared. Will be shared with everyone. So you don't have to go and memorize all this. Right, just remember it's very rare, 1.8%. Just remember 1.8%. Okay, that's a good one, the first figure you need to remember. So now let's look at how they fare against other similar properties. So for this, right, when I did my research, I used my comparison approach. we will be using the integrated developments, okay, with the integrated transport hubs. So these will be the ones that we will be used to compare. Okay, I use 5 of them to compare. Later I'll show which 5. We will be comparing it using the sale prices of the nearby projects. That means I'll compare with the sale, the trajectory of 2 nearby projects. Similar, hopefully similar age and similar attributes. Like for example, they are non-integrated developments, but they are near the MRT. And I will use the fairly new ones because we pit against the ones that are more newer in age, and of course near the MRT. And we will also talk about rental. Rental is very straightforward. I will compare it with the average of the entire planning area. Okay, so these are the things that I will use as a comparison approach. Now, first of all, let's go to the one that is closest to my heart, because I stayed opposite Hillian Residences for quite a while. So if you see this chart here, this is derived from SRX. So there's actually 3 lines: blue color Hillian Residences, the green color is the Tannery, and yellow color is the Hillier. Now, Hillian Residences, I think some of you might know, it was launched back in 2013. And the Tannery was also launched slightly before 2013. The Hillier also. Okay, the Tannery is actually located opposite Hillian, which is actually nearer to your 𝗥𝗏𝗀 side. It's actually at your 𝗥𝗏𝗀 side. Now, this is actually it's also quite linked to the MRT station. There's actually a shopping center downstairs. Okay, but it's not an integrated development. The Hillier would actually be right beside Midwood at Hillview. Now, I use the Hillier as an example because it is actually quite near to the MRT station, and it's also fairly new. So these are the examples I've used. So these are the figures that I got. Now, the reason why I want to use 2017 to 2023, because I use a uniform timeline. 2017 was the time that property prices start to pick up. So I start with 2017 Q1 all the way to 2023 Q1, which technically hasn't ended yet. Now, of course, for the Tannery, which is opposite Hillian, all right, prices went up by 7.7%. Okay, in 6 years, almost 6 years, it went up by 7.7%. For the Hillier, which is at the Hillview, the prices went up by 17.72%, actually quite a big difference from the Tannery. And lastly, our Hillian Residences prices went up by 19.72%. Now, in case you are wondering why is there a spike here for Hillian Residences, right? Okay, this was actually a transaction of a 1-bedroom sub-sale. 1-bedroom sub-sale at almost 1,842 PSF. Okay, and hence that's why, 1,700. I can't remember the exact, I can't remember the exact number, but it went up to very high, 1,700 plus PSF. That was for the 1-bedroom. But of course, as it moved on, some of the units bought before 2017 start to sell, and the prices went up. So a lot of people profited from this as well. So overall, in 6 years, it went up by almost 20%. But rental is the interesting one. Rental for Hillian Residences versus the rest of Bukit Panjang planning area. Now, let me just explain this to you. While a lot of talks and a lot of course, leaders like to use district, they compare it by district. For me personally, I like to compare it against planning area, because I think planning area is a more accurate representation of the location rather than district, because district, it can be very wide in terms of the range, but planning area means Bukit Panjang planning area is all around the area. Okay, so I would think this is a fairer comparison. So between Hillian and of course the Bukit Panjang planning area, the average pricing, right, because now quite high, right? Pricing quite high now, right? Average pricing is $4.24 per square foot, right? For the rental PSF, you're talking about all the private properties all merged into one, $4.24. Now, of course, for Hillian Residences, we are achieving $5.27 on the average. Okay, and that is because I believe that for these few months, for these 2 months, there's no smaller units to take the reign, and hence that's why 527. Else I think it could actually be as high as almost $6. And hence, if you do this comparison, we are actually 24.29% more than the median prices in Bukit Panjang area. Okay, so this is actually what I meant by for these integrated developments, where a lot of people like to be renting. They want to rent very convenient, not rent convenience, right? This is 24.29% in the Bukit Panjang planning area if you compare Hillian to Bukit Panjang. Okay, now anyone has any questions regarding this way that I compare before I carry on? Okay, if not, I'm going to move on. Okay, next set of data I'm going to show. Batok residences. Now, Batok residences, right, is actually quite there's, I would say, controversy, but a lot of people, of course, when we're trying to sell the Seneca, we're trying to sell Sky Eden, and if you go and plug the data from nearby, some of the data are very hard to determine because the whole entire area, there are actually some developments which are not very popular, and hence the data does not show very well. But in terms of this, let me show you these three sets of data which I find is comparable. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the name of the development. Okay, never mind. Let me just manually do it. You look at the green color one at the bottom, it's called the 𝗏𝗧. The 𝗏𝗧 is at Tanah Merah MRT station, right? Tanah Merah MRT station. So it TOP fairly recently as well, about 6 years. I think 6 or 7 years back, I think. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so the prices went up by 8.19% over 6 years. Okay, over 6 years, 8.19%. Now, of course, the whole entire area, the champion there, right, is Grandeur Park Residences. It went up by 26.14% over 6 years. Now, the Batok Residences, which is the last one, went up by 18.53%. Now, why did I actually put this data here? Is to tell you, although Batok Residences is one of the oldest in this three comparison, okay, but it still actually beat a newer property such as the 𝗏𝗧. The 𝗏𝗧 is newer than Batok Residences. By right, you should have it should actually be more aggressive in terms of the increment, but it didn't. But instead, Batok Residences still beat. But of course, why Grandeur Park went up more is because Grandeur Park actually, this period in time, over the last 1+2 years, right, you are actually dealt with the Grandeur Park TOP effect. Now, if you have been selling projects long enough, you will have known there's this thing called TOP effect. TOP prices tend to shift upwards, jump. Okay, and hence for Batok Residences, okay, for Grandeur Park Residences, sorry, you are actually having this TOP effect where prices actually went up more aggressively because it's nice and brand new and people want to buy and stay and are willing to pay a higher price. All right, so this is the comparison. But for this, let's look at the rentals. The rental of Batok Residences versus Batok planning area. Okay, now just to highlight, when I say Batok planning area, when I say the planning area, it's all private property. It does not include HDB, only private property. Now, what is the difference in price? Batok planning area, averagely, it went to $4.48. Batok Residences was at $5.50 on average, and hence 22.76% more. It's actually very similar to your Hillian, and also 24%. Right, so you realize that buying an integrated development, okay, your rental will outdo your non-integrated developments, okay, by almost 20%, okay, for these two. So quite clear, this is for Batok Residences. Now, this is very interesting. Okay, this one is actually very interesting, the Centuries. Now, the Centuries is one of the oldest comparison that we are going to use in this today's session. The Centuries was actually launched in 2006. It TOP in 2009 or 10. That was the span. It was the TOP, the Centuries. So the Centuries, of course, is in Boon Lay, right? Boon Lay. So to a lot of people, Boon Lay is like very far. All right, for people who don't stay in the west, Boon Lay is the furthest point. In fact, last time, long time ago, MRT ends at Boon Lay, but now it ends further lah. So to a lot of people's mindset, that is very far. So a lot of people, the area can meh? The area can meh? But I tell you, centuries. Now, I'm comparing it with two other properties, Lake Grande and Lakeview. The reason why I couldn't use anything else in Boon Lay because Boon Lay MRT station is because there's no other private property very, very near there. But so I use one stop up to the lakeside. So Lake Grande and Lakeview are actually quite near, just a couple of minutes walk to the MRT station. So let's look at the prices. So now Lakeview over 2017 to 2023 went up by 31%. That's a lot of movement, a lot of price movement, okay, for 6 years, 31.05%. All right, that's for Lakeview. And it's also, I can't remember when it TOP. I think it's fairly recently within the last couple of years. All right, for Lakeview, if anyone can give me an answer, that'd be great. Did anyone give me an answer? Lakeview, when did TOP? Okay, never mind. So I'm going to move on. For Lake Grande, okay, still quite good as well. It went up by 25.75% over the last 6+ years. All right, now these two, just to remind you, they are actually fairly modern projects, okay, and hence the movement also quite good lah. Now for the centuries over this period of time, it went up by 41.32%. 41.32%. This is one of the most terrific results I ever gotten. And hence that's why, okay, despite it being the older ones, okay, it actually outperformed the two newer ones, which are also quite near to the MRT station. Let me see if anyone give me some answers. Thank you so much, Jennifer. So Lakeview TOP 2017 or 18, that period. Okay, so it should enjoy a very good uptrend. All right, and for Lake Grande, I think also or TOP, I think a little bit older, right? Lake Grande, right? Okay, never mind. But the whole idea is Centuries being the oldest project here, okay, actually outperformed the other two because it's an integrated project. All right, now let's look at the rental. So the green color line represents the Jurong West planning area. Okay, it's at about $4.20. But of course, for the Centuries, okay, it's at $4.69. So the difference is 11.66% more. So despite having a lot of newer projects nearby there, Centuries actually outperformed the whole Jurong West planning area by 11.66%. So the Centuries is one of the most remarkable integrated developments over at the west side. I understand that there's actually a asking to compare J Gateway. I believe J Gateway should have, but because J Gateway is 1, 2, 3, 4 stops down, so I'm using one stop down to compare. But I think it's interesting. I will actually go and try to find out J Gateway as well. Watertown. Okay, now Watertown. This project, right? Okay, we are comparing to two other projects, Treasure Trove and Park Centrals. Now, when I first saw these three projects, I fell in love with Watertown because I believe for those who have been to Watertown or stay in Watertown, you'll find that the unit size are bigger. The ceiling height is also quite high. Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember wrongly. I think it has typically higher ceiling heights as compared to the other two. Right, but of course, the location are quite similar, just that of course, one is integrated, the other two is not. So the green color, a Treasure Trove, it was one of the lower priced project launched back in then. So the Treasure Trove rose by 33.63%, okay, over a period of 6 years. Whereas Park Centrals actually went up by even more, by 35.76%. It's almost the same. And Watertown went up by 28.61%. Right, now, although it wasn't the most, but I think it's still very remarkable in terms of like the increment in prices. It's went up by almost 30%. Now, I believe that if some a very nicely ID'd unit come out and with that's being sold in Watertown, because Watertown is, I've seen the layouts, it's really very nice. All right, if ID unit come out, okay, and it can sell for a higher PSF, I believe you will see actually the data skewing lah. But of course, as of now, this is the data that you're comparing, all three of them around the area. But let's look at the rental. So if you look at Punggol rent, Punggol rent side, okay? So Punggol planning area, the rents, you see the green color line, is $4.22. That is on the average. But whereas for Watertown, it is $6.47 on the average, representing a 53.32% increment over margin, okay, over your Punggol planning area. Okay, I think this is very, very remarkable because having 53, can you imagine that you tell your client, Mr. Client, if you buy reserve residences, you might get to enjoy 53.32% more in terms of rental compared to the average prices of the area. I think this is a very strong selling point because when I actually tell this to my client, 53.32% is actually very high, right? But we'll use this as we'll keep this as a gauge. Let's move on. Okay, lastly, we move to one of the most talked about integrated developments in Singapore, which is North Park Residences. So for North Park Residences, my comparison was with the Nautical and Canberra. They are the one MRT stop now, okay, because I find that these are the ones that's near to MRT station. So I'm going to use these two to compare. Now, for Canberra Residences, it went up by 25.54%. Not bad for 6 years, okay. And for the Nautical, it went up by 30.1%. Right, it's actually a very, very good, respectable increment over 6 years. Now, how many of you remember when we were selling North Park Residences back in 2014-15? I think it was about 1415. That was when Alex Residences was sold as well. Okay, a lot of people when they go and buy North Park Residences, okay, you thought they were crazy. Raise our hand. They thought they're crazy. Hey, North Park 1004 PSF. Okay, 1005 PSF. You thought they're crazy. Right. Okay. I think a lot of you are very shy to admit, but I thought my friend was crazy to buy 1,400 plus PSF. Right? I thought he said, hey, how you can make money, man, this one. But of course, I was proven wrong. Out of this, for North Park Residences, okay, the prices went up the most by 35.7%. It's actually a lot of increment for North Park Residences over the past 6 years. Of course, now I think if you go to Property Guru, if you search District 27, okay, you go by PSF, everything is North Park highest. Things out there asking at 1,009 PSF, 1,009 PSF for Yishun. Okay, you better believe it. I believe that it will still go up more because the lure of integrated development is really, really there. Okay, hence that's why. Oh yeah, rental. We talk about rental. So overall, in rental, the Yishun planning area, okay, is $4.43. North Park Residences $6.04, representing a 36.34% more than your average of the whole entire area. Okay, so quite clear. So our comparison summary for sale. Integrated developments typically outperform their nearby properties in price growth. Typically okay, with the exception of Batok Residences and Watertown, the rest typically will outdo. If you go and do your research, a lot of them will outdo their peers, their neighbors. So even with an older project, centuries, we're talking about centuries, right? The allure and the attributes of the integrated transport hub really surpasses newer projects in popularity, and you get to have a very good price retention and price growth as well. For rental-wise, rental prices of an integrated development is always higher than the average of the planning area. That means when you sell to your clients, you need to give very strong and defining statements. Mr. Client, rental prices of an integrated development will definitely be higher than the average of the whole entire planning area. Okay, so these are the kind of languages I will use when I pitch to my clients to give them the confidence of the product that you are selling. Right, so from what we gathered, the margins are 11.66% to 53.32% more. Okay, for your rentals. All right. Of course, now yesterday while discussing with the leadership team, some of them might say that, oh, in this case, I go and buy the resale one. I go and buy Centuries. Isn't it better? Right? I go and buy Watertown. I go and buy Watertown. I go and buy all this. Would it be better? Now, that's why you can actually remind them, Mr. Client, remember, I agree that these are actually very, very good products, all right, on the market, right? But of course, if you want to look at an investment point of view, right, you look at an investment point of view, buying a new launch is good. It's because, number one, okay, you do not incur your interest, high interest at this moment. Because if you buy now, you only pay your 20%, you wait for foundation to be up, then you start to pay your interest, which is actually interest rate quite high now. So you avoid this portion here. Now, number two, there's this thing called a TOP effect. At TOP, prices usually jump because the developer has slowly increased the price over the number of years, and hence, naturally, you have that natural gain and that advantage, okay, when you actually sell off at TOP. Or price gain, okay, when the TOP, when people start to sell off already, okay, you have that actually price advantage. And hence, Mr. Client, yes, I'm just showing you examples here that integrated developments are good, okay, it is rare, but you should still look at the new ones because, number one, all right, you get that, you actually avoid that high interest rate environment now, and number two, you actually enjoy the TOP effect. So remember, always try to use short, simple statements to tell your clients. Okay, short, simple statements to tell clients so that the clients can absorb and be interested and want to listen more to you. Okay, very clear. Huh? Okay, let me check any questions. All right, thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on. My portion is going to end soon. I know some of you might say, hey, this 𝗧𝗵𝗲 very 重黑. I'm trying to cut down as much as possible. Okay, now I'm going to move a little bit more into the other parts of my presentation. Now, another very strong reason why it's good is this property is within the Bukit Timah planning area. Okay, I know it's District 21. Okay, I know it's District 21. Right, so some of you might say, hey, District 21, not District 10, District 10 better, right? District 21 also quite good, right? 21. Because 21 is this part of 21 is within the Bukit Timah planning area. So hence that's why the word Bukit Timah, I think, is a very strong selling point. So if you look at this map, the green color one on the left, Anak Bukit, okay, this is the part, all right? And in terms of where we are nearer to the tip of the Anak Bukit side of things, okay? Now, I like to use, I think for those who have attended my UAS and UCS a couple of years back, I like to use this thing called defensive location. Okay, why is defensive location good thing? Because in 2020, everyone that time COVID scared price drop right? So we came out with this. I came out with this defensive location, and I sold it to my clients and said why you should buy Forex Bukit Timah, right? But now Forex Bukit Timah finishing. Now we move on to this reserve also at Bukit Timah, right? So why defensive location? Now let's look at this chart. Let's look at this chart, right? Okay, so you actually have two lines there. Okay, try to follow me. I'm trying to explain as clearly as possible because charts can be a bit hard to explain. Now there's two lines that I plot from 2007. Now why I use 2007? Because 2007 was the year before the recession started. Okay, 2008 the recession started to kick in, and 2007 was before. So we all know from 2007 to 2008 there's a dip in prices, right? Y'all follow? Y'all follow? 2007, 2008, the whole Singapore got a dip. Now, what was the dip? The dip in prices over 1 year was approximately 11.09% across the whole Singapore. I know some of you are going to argue, no, I know some of them dip 30% one day. Yes, there were cases that dip 20 plus 30% for some properties, but we're now talking about the whole Singapore. Over 1 year, it dipped 11.09%. Singapore, I tell you, dip 11%, people make a lot of noise already. Okay, this is Singapore because Singapore always very stable, right? Dip a bit, people wow, very scared already. But 11.09%, that was the total percentage dip over that 1 year. Now, but for Bukit Timah planning area, the properties dip minus 1.11%. You are hearing people got dip 20-30%, right? Okay, whole Singapore dip 11.09%. Bukit Timah planning area dip 1.11%. Is that a lot? No, right? It's quite little, right? I think now you say, hey, actually 1.1%, wow, 这是, you know, in gambling, 输少算赢. So yeah, in English is lose lesser, consider win. Okay, I'm trying to direct translate. Okay, so 1.11%, that was the dip. Okay, now the other event that is supposed to cause a bit in terms of recession was actually COVID. Okay, I remember reading the newspaper. Biggest recession to hit the face of Earth ever since the Great Depression. Wow! I read the article like, wow, damn 𝗵𝗲 we die liao wow, right? Now, the whole Singapore take over that 1 year, 3.15%. In the worst recession since the Great Depression, did 3.15%. Okay, what happened to Bukit Timah prices? It went up by 6.47% in that 1 year. Wow, everyone dip This one go up first 6.47% in that 1 year. So over the last 2007 to 2023, right? Okay, total price increment of Singapore properties on average went up by 88.02%. Okay, 88.02%. Whereas for Bukit Timah planning area, it went up by 124.82%. Almost 125%. So while the price dip in the last two recessions, prices in Bukit Timah planning area stayed resilient and went up even more. I think this is a statement you want to tell your clients. Okay, buy Bukit Timah, won't go wrong. Okay, of course, inside, even when I talk to my clients, right, what will I tell them? I will ask them a very simple thing. Mr. Client, Bukit Timah is a place for, okay, the normal people or the rich people. Of course, they'll tell you rich people. Okay, rich people got normal money or more money, of course, got more money. So with more money, anything happen, can they stomach, can they actually hold on to the property better or not? Yes, they can. Then of course, you buy Bukit Timah. Right, so you want something safe, you want something can go up, they show them this chart. Okay, so this is what I mean by defensive location. Whenever I use this word, right, a lot of my clients, what do you mean? Okay, this is the effect you want them to have. Oh, I never heard of this before. Defensive location. Come, tell me more. Okay, once they feel interested, you tell them more, they're interested, okay, they will want to listen more to you. Now, of course, the attributes of why is it a defensive location is also because I think you all have read this article. Prices of tengah homes near to ACS Primary could rise 10 to 15%. Okay? No, I am not selling 𝗵𝗃𝗀, or I'm not selling the upcoming 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗏, is it? There's the name, Bukit Batok 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗏, the plantation, it's called 𝗕𝗄𝗏. Okay, no, I'm not selling those two, but I'm just trying to show you school zones. The demand of good schools, okay, if you can see here, I actually cut out from Channel News Asia. Now, in Singapore, many parents go to great lengths to secure a place in good schools by renting or paying top dollar for a nearby property. Okay, this is a statement. Okay, you can tell your clients, Mr. Client, parents in Singapore, crazy one. They will pay a lot of money to get their kids into good school, period. Now, prices within 1 kilometer of ACS Barker, when it was still in there, no, it's still there actually, was 2116 PSF. This is the average. Is 18% higher than the median resale price in your District 11 in 2022. 18%, quite a lot because you are near to a good school. Right? In this area, right? What do we have? Can you please all type out the 2 good schools in the chat? Come, type out. What are the 2 good schools that is very, very near to our development? Please type out in the chat, please. You don't know, man. Primary school, not primary school. Yes, correct. Yes. 𝗵𝗿 and MGS. 𝗵𝗿, we are literally 300 meters away from 𝗵𝗿. Right? Can you imagine 300 meters? 差不多, right? Okay, 300 meters. We are 300 meters away. Can you imagine? A parent, their precious child, want to go to school. Would they want them to wake up early or wake up late? Wake up later, right? Can let them sleep more, right? So they wake up, okay, then they go to school, just walk across. Whereas their peers, some of them have to travel from other areas down to here, drive, kena the jam, right? Wow, very tough. So hence that's why 𝗵𝗿 at 300 plus meters away, okay, is a very, very, very strong selling point. Okay, now have helper walk them to school. Yes, you are right. Helper walk them to school. But helper walk them to school already also must come back and prepare breakfast for sir and mama, right? So they can happily come back and faster cook for them. Okay, anyway. MGS is also quite near. It's within 1 kilometer. It's still walkable, definitely walkable distance. Okay, so these are the two very good schools that is actually near to our development. Okay, for those who don't know. Okay, for those who are not sure, right? Okay, primary schools are not secondary school. Okay lah, good to have lah. But primary school, these are the more important ones. So these are the two good schools. They are within 1 kilometers of this development. Okay, now some simpler points before I hand over to Yen, who's going to take over soon. Of course, the Bukit Timah will actually have a one-stop integrated facility. Do you all know, right? When this project is ready, right? How convenient it will be, how crazy, the word is crazily convenient now. Now, you all know there's a hawker center opposite, right? So if you have been following some of the leaders, we have been doing some food runs there. We have been, there's actually the hawker center. We have actually your, I know the chendol is good, the duck noodle is good, the wuxiang is good. A lot of things is good, how you all can contribute in the chat. Now, can you imagine you are linked there? Of course, they're going to rebuild that thing. They're going to rebuild the hawker center and they're going to have the hawker together with a community club there. Community club got even more facilities there to use. As if your development already not enough already. Your development already got so many things already, right? Okay, still must have something there. Then your 200,000+ square feet of commercial space right now, you move over there, not enough, right? You go over the link side, there's still 60 over shops, I think. Then of course, 60 over shop not enough. Then you walk until your leg and your back tired. You walk a bit further down, is your beauty world, right? You go there for massage, right? You massage finish already, you hungry, you go up to the hawker center and eat the ban mian, right? The ban mian is also there. Then you eat finish everything. Dinner time, you cross over the 24-hour eateries. You Korean barbecue. You want to eat the Chinese barbecue. You want to eat the Indian Muslim food. All have. Wow, actually, sorry, I 𝗧𝗵𝗲 a bit. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, what I'm trying to say is very exciting. Lots of stuff there. I think it doesn't even do this slide justice. All right, so. Lastly, before I pass on to how come the slide, I think the slide went off a bit of went off a little bit in terms of the alignment. Okay, now you see the 3 red dots I want to put here. Okay, these are the 3 areas of government land sites that's going to come. Now, as an agent, we love to sell. You remember you sell dairy farm. We sold the upside of dairy farm, and because there's actually another 7 more plots of land that's coming up. 7 more plots. We sell Lentor. Lentor Hills is very good. It will have a lot of plots of land coming up. Price will go up. All right, Lentor is very good. Lentor. All right. So, but of course, for this area, these are the ones that's coming up, Pine Grove area, we will actually have about 5 hectares of land coming up. In case you don't know what 5 hectares is, 5 hectares is approximately 500,000 square feet. 5,000 square feet. Holland Plain is behind MGS. It's actually a very, very big plot of area, a very big area. Holland Plain is actually a big empty field facing the GCP areas there. It's quite a big plot area, 34 hectares. The bigger one would be Turf City, 140 hectares. Essentially, 140 hectares is about 200 football fields of GLS that's going to come up in the area. Okay, so can you imagine the amount of land that's going to be sold, the amount of land that's going to push your prices up in the area? All right, this will be something to look forward to.
I believe, okay, I just want to touch a little bit on what 𝗧𝗵𝗲 actually mentioned just now. You're talking about schools. I think nowadays schools is very important because I myself, as a parent, I'm in the same situation now. Because I think last year, government actually announced that they will be combining 2A1, 2A2 together. My sittings for alumni will be reduced drastically. So meaning if my wife is an alumni to 𝗞𝗶𝗴. I'm trying to see if I can get into 𝗞𝗶𝗴, but I checked last year's statistics. I think for alumni not staying within 1 kilometer, right, to get into the school, chances is only like what, 30+%. Wow, that's a very low chance, no? So the only way for people to get into the school, right, is really to buy house near or within 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer within the vicinity. That will actually assure your kids' chance to going into that school. So this is a big problem that I am facing right now. Okay. Okay, that aside, just to share a little bit with you about my own situation. Okay, and I believe now you guys know that we're launching a mega project, the reserve residences that's coming right up very soon. And now 𝗏𝗵𝗲 actually separated into, it is a integrated development with integrated transport hub, right? Yeah, and there's a rare property to own, a rare asset for any investors or homeowners to even consider. There's what, 1.8%, right? I remember, let me say 1.8%. Okay, so today my part, okay, I'll be sharing with you not just the master plan, okay? I'll be sharing with you what is the beauty of staying around Bukit Timah, staying around the beauty world, because I'll be running through with you what will be the transformation that's coming up in that area, especially for those who are not very familiar with the place. You know, I can run you through, share with you guys to show you guys around the area. Okay, why I want to talk about master plan? Okay, so master plan, right, is actually a statutory land use plan which guides Singapore's development in the medium term over the next 10 to 15 years. It is reviewed every 5 years and translate the board long-term strategies of the long-term plan into detailed plans to guide the developments of land and property. And also the master plan actually shows the permissible land use and density of the developments in Singapore. So why is it important that we need to know and understand master plan? Because you must know, master plan is like a crystal ball when it comes to project marketing. Why? Because like 𝗏𝗵𝗲 mentioned just now, right? It tells us the zoning of a particular area with different color coding or legends, right? Not only does it tell us the current planning of an area, but also the future planning of that area as well. Like for example, where will be more, will there be more residential plots coming up in the future? Would there be a mall coming up? Would there be a school coming up, which 𝗏𝗵𝗲 mentioned in Tengah? Prices set to increase by 10 to 15%, I suppose. Okay, that's for the school. And also upcoming MRT station in the vicinity, which I will share with you one example also. With the master plan as well, it will actually help you to kind of like suggest to your clients what will be the future exit plans as well. Okay, so when it comes to project marketing, understanding the master plan will actually help you convince your client that this is the right project to buy and also to close your deal easier. Okay, so now before I actually share with you more about Beauty World, but I would like to bring you back to the past. Okay, of course today's focus will be on the reserve residences lah. Okay, so the beauty last time, very long ago, in fact, was shared by one of our leadership team, saying that, you know, last time Beauty World is a place whereby our akong, ama go there for dating, you know, they go there for movie night, they go there, there's amusement park also. And Beauty World itself, right, it actually dates back to during the Japanese occupation period, which is in 1942 to 1945 period, thereabout. Okay, so you can see Beauty World Market is, I'm not referring to the hawker center, this is called the Beauty World Market, right, was opened in the 1940s. Okay, and it comprises over 100 stalls which sells all kinds of daily necessities from anything to everything. Okay, you can see the top right corners over there. Okay, but the market, right, was not big enough. Then it was expanded in 1960s thereabout with the addition of Beauty World Town. All right, then what came next? In the 1970s, okay, the place starts to get a little bit congested and get dirty and very, very poor hygiene conditions, I would say. So many fires broke out. Many fire accidents actually broke out during that period. You look at the top left-hand picture over here. Okay, many fire accidents actually broke out during that period. So what happened is that, so the old Beauty World site, right, was later acquired by the Singapore government in 1975. So most of the stall holders, right, were then relocated to the newly built Beauty World Center right opposite across the road. Okay, I'll show you the map. Where is it? Okay. So you can see from my laser pointer, this current area, okay, you can see Beauty World Town, Beauty World Market. Beauty World Market starts from 1947 to 1984, and Beauty World Town is from 1962 to 1984. So this plot is actually sitting on where our Cheong Chin Nam open air car park and where the empty plot where 𝗧𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀 show flat was previously. Okay. Now the empty plot, take note. Just now 𝗧𝗵𝗲 actually mentioned about the community building, right? Where the current hawker center is sitting on, it will be revamped, right? So where the storeholder is going to go to. Now, if you look at the empty plot where the previous 𝗧𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀 show flat was sitting on, it is actually going through a revamp now. You will see hoardings over there. This is just to share with you guys also, because just in case when you go there, you're thinking, hey, what constructions are they doing over there? Because what we heard from the store owners at Bukit Timah Hawker Center, right? In about 2 months' time, they will be shifting to this area, will be a temporary holding ground for them. This area will be even more people, it will be more congested, temporary. Okay, so this is to give you an idea. So last time, Beauty World Town and Beauty World Market was relocated and moved to Beauty World Center in 1984 till present. Okay, and of course, Beauty World Plaza came up, both are also strata titled malls as well. Okay, but sadly, time seems to stood still since 1980s. Okay, about 3, 4 decades ago already. You know, when it first started. So while the rest of Singapore have moved on, you know, they become very old. A lot of owners are actually looking to trying to en bloc. You know, but time will come, I believe, because later I'll show you the blueprint of the entire Beauty World. Right, you will see how amazing the whole place will be transformed. Okay, so it is 3, 4 decades ago. The place is very, till now, is very quiet. It turned to become a very sleepy part of Bukit Timah. Okay, until there are a few announcements that came up that is slowly trying to revamp the whole area. The first news came in 2001, where our ministers then, okay, announced the launch of the downtown line. They will be cutting across. Okay, for this part of the downtown line we call it the stage 2, okay, which starts from the Bukit Panjang itself and goes all the way to the town area. Okay. So with the introduction of this downtown line, right, it will help to not only ease the traffic at Bukit Timah, because Bukit Timah, the stretch is always very jammed, you know, but you also allow the residents from Bukit Panjang and Choa Chu Kang, okay, to have more direct route into the city. And with this downtown line, it actually cuts the travel time by 30%. Okay, but what's the most important attributes, right, of having this new downtown line is how much has it helped the projects in the surrounding vicinity to appreciate tremendously. I didn't show the statistics here because I think I got quite a few to cover. So based on what I last checked, okay, for the numbers in District 21, property prices for non-landed have appreciated by about 40%. That was in 2001 thereabout. Okay, but ever since the launch, ever since the start running of the inauguration of the downtown line in 2015, prices 3 years down the road, I think 2018, 2019, then the prices actually appreciated by about 28%. That's quite amazing, right? After we've usually announcement of the train station comes in 2 parts. Firstly, is the announcement. Secondly, is the opening of the line. Okay, so this is the first announcement that actually brings back, trying to awake the beauty of Bukit Timah. So this is the first announcement. Second announcement came along. So this is actually the railway land that was returned to Singapore in 2011. Okay, this is actually the former railway line that was used for commuting and transporting goods between Singapore and the rest of Malay Peninsula at the beginning of the 20th century, thereabout. So in 2011, the railway land was finally returned to Singapore in a land swap deal between Singapore and Malaysia. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 did mention just now, is between 2 the land swap deal. So the meaning Singapore, they have a land swap, Malaysia returning all the rail line, and in return, right, they have a joint venture. We call it the M+S, Malaysia plus Singapore, which is a 60-40% joint venture, whereby they exchange for 6 plots. 2 plots at Duo and 6 plots at Marina 1 itself. Okay, so the construction and conservation work was carried out in 2018 and completed in 2021 to return the heritage, to retain the heritage and the shared memories of the area. If during your weekends, you know, with your family, I'm not sure how long have you guys been there. Have anyone actually been to the rail corridor recently? Hang on. Anybody actually been to the rail corridor recently? Let me see the chat. I tell you, it's quite amazing. You know, last time it was like so run down, you know, but when you reach the place, it's so tranquil. They even have cafe. I'll show you the some photos later. Staying in the east, Jennifer, you should take your time, you know, over the weekend. Go there, take a walk. There are different gateways, different nodes that bring you in. I'll share with you guys where are they located at. Okay. But just a little bit of sharing also. On paper, online, when I go and search all this, why is there a need for this land swap? You know, I believe this land swap, right, is more of political move by Singapore. Can you imagine till date, imagine Malaysia still own a strip of land up to 24 kilometers in Singapore, cutting right straight through the entire of Singapore and cutting through a lot of prime lands there. Politically, okay, I leave it to you guys to think and ponder about this question. Okay, I will carry on. Now, so I already mentioned about 2 announcements, right? Downtown line, the rail corridor. Okay, next, what is it? This is actually one of the most important announcements. The changes in the master plan from 2014 to 2019. Okay, so in 2014, you will see the government had plans for large medical facilities on an undeveloped plot of land near Beauty World MRT. Okay, can you see my cursor over here? Where the current reserve residences plot will be. This will be an entire 3.2 hectares. Okay, it's supposed to be medical facilities. If you guys were to pass by there now, right, just some fun facts. You will see some buildings inside. And what is that building inside? If you were to peep into the plot, you will see some building. That building is actually our first Bukit Timah Community Center. Okay, located right inside the plot itself. But then I think years later, it was actually changed into a nursing home. I believe that will not be conserved, and that should go because they will be giving way to our new the reserve residences. Okay, so you can see from 2014, the color is changed and turned into blue color, which 𝗔𝗵𝗲 mentioned about. It's a commercial and residential. Okay, it's different from commercial on the first floor, whereby residential above. This is an integrated transport hub now. Okay, so and then you see what other changes is coming up. Over at my cursor over here, okay, in 2014, you will see it's an entire red color. That will be the Civic and Community Institution, if I'm not wrong. But 2019, they have changed. Okay, this will be where the community building will be located. I think there's a small strip of education plot over here. But so far, we have no news of it at the moment. Okay, I'll share with you a little bit more on that later. Then, what other changes coming out in Beauty World? You will see at the top corner of my circle, right, within the circle, you'll see in 2014, it was dark pink. This is the first, that means first story will be commercial and residential above. Previously, do you all know what is sitting on, that's the plot for the link. Do you all know what is the plot previously before the link? What is the development? Do you all know? First story, commercial, residential above. Correct, Christine. It's actually the 𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 building, the famous Maybank. You know, everybody talking about the Maybank. People don't remember it's a 𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 building, but they'll just say that it's a Maybank over there. People will remember already. It's over at that plot. Okay. Then in 2019, it's turned into blue color. Integrated development, not necessarily an integrated transport hub. Okay. Then now, can you all see the small little triangular plot at the back? Just to share a little bit more info, because we are doing the reserve residences. When client asks you, hey, what is this plot? Because if you drive past now, you will see URA land for sale. It's already sold. This small little triangular plot over here is already sold. It is sold to who? It's a GLS plot. It's a GLS plot. It is actually sold to Bukit Sembawang. Okay, with top bid of $1,343 per square feet per plot ratio. Okay, 1343 sold already. So already this triangular plot, a smaller triangular plot, because I think one developer will swallow this plot is because quantum wise 200 million thereabout, it's easy for them to offload. It shouldn't have many major big developments. I mean, probably just one tower, I would say. Okay, so at least when your client asks you, you roughly know. So the selling price estimated based on I read in the article should be around 2003, 2004 per square feet. Roughly, this is what they quote. Okay, so actual, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Still waiting for developers to give us more information, of course. Okay, so with the announcement, next, the changes in the beauty world. What's next? Now, there are 6 areas to look out for in the Bukit Timah master plan, which is the first one that I mentioned, beauty world. Okay, beauty world. Let me show you what's going to happen. You see. Have you guys seen this picture before? This is actually from URA. Have you guys seen this? Why 𝗂𝗵𝗲 and us, we are getting so excited about this whole area? Because looking at this blueprint, can you imagine how the whole area will change and turn into? Let's look at, okay, of course, this is the reserve residences, this 3.2 hectare plots, surrounded by where? This is the PIE, okay? On the right-hand side of PIE, of course, this is 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Tower, PIE. Then at the bottom here is Upper Bukit Timah Road. Flanking on the left-hand side, this is Jalan Anak Bukit that actually leads us to the PIE. So surrounding by Jalan Anak Bukit, Upper Bukit Timah, and PIE. I think we have sent you guys the perspective where 𝗵𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 organization have actually sent us. I did not add that in for this slide, which you guys can get it over from our chat. Okay, it's amazing. I wish I can show you the fly-through video which I've seen from developer. Is amazing. Okay, we're just waiting for them to touch up a little bit more before we send it over to you guys. Okay. Okay, so you see the reserve residences across the road, Upper Bukit Timah. You will see this future community building. This is where the current Bukit Timah Hawker Center is sitting on. And then there's a link bridge that brings us across to this small little plot. I believe this is the education plot. But as of now, what would that be? We are not sure. Okay. Then orientate you a little bit more. Behind, we'll have our 𝗿𝗍𝗀𝗃𝗍, which is in red color. This is the 𝗿𝗍𝗃𝗍. Okay. This is the only HDB cluster in that area. I would say in the District 21, probably. Okay. And at the back, of course, is our 𝗵𝗿𝗀 Presbyterian with the red color roofing, which 𝗂𝗵𝗲 mentioned, 300 meters walk only. I think so, really. I think you forgot to sew 衣服 raining. You send your kids over. Then after that, wow, dark sky. Then after that, you decided, oh, it's raining already. You want to go home. Don't worry. You are just a few steps away to home only. Okay. Then there's a Shell petrol station over here. Okay, then I would like to bring your attention to, just now I did mention about the link, right? Where is it located? Can you see this future development? This is where the link is located, okay? And behind is another GLS plot which Bukit Sembawang have bidded, okay? Won the bid for. Now, next thing, I want you guys to take a closer look at this future development over here. Okay, think about it. Think about it. This will be part of my training slides later. Also, I'll share with you where this plot is and what will it be in future. Okay. Okay. Then, but the main thing for Beauty World, right, in government's master plan, it's not just showing you about this blueprint. The main purpose is what? Can you see what are we surrounded with? We are surrounded by Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. We are surrounded by Rifle Range Nature Park. Okay. So what do that mean? Now you see, can you see the arrow, Future Green Promenade? The arrow that's cutting in, there's also a Bukit Timah Rochor Green Walk that's coming up. Why do I point out this to you? Is because government is actually trying, let me bring my pen. Okay, government is trying to bring nature closer to us. Okay, government is actually trying to open up new gateways into the surrounding nature and heritage surrounding Beauty World itself. Okay, thus this actually bring nature closer to us for those people staying in Bukit Timah or Beauty World itself. Can you see? Wait, where is my pen? Let me draw out. Can you see all this arrow? Can you see all this arrow? Can you see all this arrow? Government is actually trying to open up new gateways, new nodes into the nature reserve. And this one that I just drew, okay, there is actually a overhead bridge that brings us across and right straight into Rifle Range Nature Park also. Then, let me change another color. Then, can you see this green highlighted at the back? What is this? This is actually our rail corridor. This is actually our rail corridor. Can you see how government is trying to plan and open up new gateways, open up new nodes into the nature? Okay, so there will be a lot of street level activities and large landscaping adding to improve the walking experience from Beauty World itself and allow pedestrians easier access to the rail corridor and the nearby attractions as well. Okay, so this is the first part, one of the 6, okay, for Beauty World. Okay, let's move on to next. Okay, then next I'll come to Bukit Timah Rochor Green Walk, okay, which I point out to you just now. Can you see this sky bridge over here? Now, where is this sky bridge located? It is actually located in between Danyan Road and Bukit Timah Road. It is starting at the start point is actually from the Rifle Range Road. You guys know where Mayfair, modern Mayfair Garden is? Okay, it is starting from there. There is, can you see this former Bukit Timah railway station? Okay, there is actually a truss bridge. We call it truss bridge or truss bridge around there. Okay, it's part of the rail corridor. You can enter from there. And that is actually the start point of this Bukit Timah Rochor Green Walk. This is actually just first phase of 1.4 kilometers. Later on, the first phase actually stretched from Rifle Range Road to Elm Avenue. So slowly, government will be opening up to about 11 kilometers of trail, all the way up to Kallang Riverside. Kallang Riverside, okay? So with this sky bridge, right, it allows visitors to have a new attractive route to walk, jog, and cycle into the city center itself also, okay? Then next, after that, I would like to share with you, of course, Bukit Timah Railway Station, okay, it's been conserved already. Okay, so it has been conserved and become a heritage gallery and base for community activities. So on the left-hand side, you will see this is our Bukit Timah Railway Station, which has been carefully restored and repurposed as a heritage gallery. So when you're there, so when you cut across from Mayfair, you can park your car at the link 368 where the cold storage is. Okay, then you can walk to Mayfair Garden. Then after that, you can walk up the slope, and then you can cross the truss bridge. You can see and you can reach this area where you will see Bukit Timah Railway Station and also the former staff housing block, which is the housing quarters for those people who work on the railway previously. Okay, and interestingly, okay, this is restored. The housing quarters is restored and repurposed into a cafe with rustic and relaxed ambience. You guys, when you're free, I think the cafe is called 1932, if I'm not wrong, the last time when we went. It's a very nice place. You don't feel that you are in Singapore anymore, you know. When we did our video previously, we passed by there. It's really very different, pretty out of the world, I would say. Okay, this is something whereby government did not put into one of the plan. Okay, this is actually the old Bukit Timah fire station. I'm not sure if you guys are aware where this place is located. It is along Upper Bukit Timah Road, T junction from Old Jurong Road. For those people who drive, Old Jurong Roads come down from the autoback. Okay, so it's actually at T junction. Now, this old fire station, right? In fact, the tender was closed already. That time, there's someone who actually bidded for this plot, and then they're going to refurbish. I saw the plan. The company actually won the bid. It's called Homestead. Yeah, it is a very eco-friendly place. Why do I say so? Okay, maybe let me share a little bit more. So you see this fire station. Previously, fire station, the last plan that I know, they are Tiong Bahru Bakery actually took over this fire station. And at the back, this empty area, right? Okay, they will have some planting areas. So the plants that being planted, not plants, vegetation. Okay, there's some vegetables, you know, your cai xing or whatever. They plant there already, right? Then they will be selling to the F&B shops around within the same vicinity. Then the F&B shops, right, they will have their food waste, correct or not? And the food waste, right, will actually be used as a fertilizer and given back to them for planting. All right, so it's very interesting over in the area. So Tiong Bahru Bakery 2 over here. Then I think there's another 6 blocks or 5 blocks of a low-rise 4-story. So the entire floor, ground floor, right, was F&B. Then the above will turn into some enrichment classes. We have a vet over there. Very interesting. Okay, I'll show you the next slide first. So this, you can see, this is the aerial view of Bukit Timah, old Bukit Timah fire station. Sorry, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks over there. They will be conserved and retained. They just do the refurbishing internally. Just now, I did mention to you guys that Beauty World, okay, around Beauty World, they'll be opening up gateways to Rifle Range Park and also Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, right? So this is another link bridge. They are going to link one more, which is our Bukit Batok Nature Reserve at the top left-hand corner. Can you see this entire plot? This is the final connection, okay, whereby they will link Bukit Batok Nature Park together with Bukit Timah Nature Reserve and Rifle Range Nature Park. Can you see this elevated forest walk? It will be cutting across from Bukit Batok Nature Reserve all the way to this fire station and stopping right in front of them, this empty plot. So this bridge, I believe it should look something like Henderson Wave. You know, when you guys drive past, it should look something like that. Okay, so then that time when I was there for the planning, right, with my client, because my client actually got an F&B unit over there, but then too bad, they have to, they can't, due to COVID, Homestead can't continue with the project. So government should be taking back for re-tender. Now the tender, right, is not say to the highest bidder. You have to submit your plan. What is your intention? What you're going to do in the whole area before NEA or SLA, sorry, SLA will actually grant you the project. Okay, that time when we were there for the planning, can you see this visitor center? Interestingly, NEA already chopped one of the conserve unit over there already. There's a small little single level over there. They already chopped. Why? Because that is actually another opening. Like I mentioned to you, government is trying to open up a lot of gateways, a lot of nodes into our nature. So this is actually one of them, whereby can you see the bridge right at the bottom, linking us to our rail corridor. Okay, linking us to our rail corridor. And then after you see, hey, how come there's a 𝗵𝗵 MRT over here? 𝗵𝗵 MRT actually is not open yet. It's still in the midst of construction. So when you look at the downtown line, you'll see one missing number between Cashew and between Beauty World. Okay, you'll see a 𝗵𝗵 MRT station missing. Okay, it should be opening up, I think by 2025, around that period. Okay, so I'll move on. Okay, so you see, former Bukit Timah fire station to be turned into a lifestyle hub. A lot of people will say that it'll be turning into a mini Dempsey. Yes, it's true. It's true because the entire level, right? First floor will be F&B and also F&B and some bars in the area also. Okay, this is another perspective from CNA and Straits Times. Okay, then what am I going to show you next? Which is the Bukit Timah Community Building. Okay, where is it located? I believe now you guys should be aware. Future community building. What would they have and what would they house? Like 𝗧𝗵𝗵 mentioned, if you think that the reserve residences, 200,000 square feet of commercial not enough, we still have, just crossing the road or the underpass, you have your Bukit Timah community building. And what do they have? They of course have a community club, the market, the hawker center. Of course, they'll be coming back. Indoor sports hall, community library, and some elderly facilities. And not just that, this area will also be linked underground to Beauty World MRT also. As of now, we do not have a lot of perspective about this area or what they're going to be done, so we're not sure. So hopefully when the market and the hawker center, they move over to the temporary holding ground, we should see more holdings coming up. Then hopefully we have more perspective on that. Okay. And next, finally, which is the last, fifth and sixth, I would like to bring attention to this. Just now we talk about master plan, right? What they're going to tell us where will be the future plots coming up. And here they are. Jalan Jurong Kecil and Holland Plain, which 𝗧𝗵𝗵 actually mentioned also. So, Jalan Jurong Kecil, where is it located at? Can you see on the left-hand side? Left-hand side, I actually use the same zoom. You will see from street directory, the top corner over here is actually the former GESS, German International School school holding ground. Okay, now they have actually moved to dairy farm area. So this whole plot, you look at the master plan, they have turned into beige in color, which means it is a residential. To orientate you a little bit more, where are we located? Where is this place located? If you see, now can you see the 𝗵𝗁? The 𝗵𝗁 is the 60 years new launch. Okay, 60 years leasehold development, which was sold out in one day also, because I think then a one bedroom was transacting at 400,000+. It was supposed to be for the elderly, whereby they can retire over there, but end up a lot of youngsters actually bought because there's no regulation then. Okay, then we will see also Verdale actual site. Okay, the Souza Avenue. This road will actually be straight through, as you can see from the master plan. It will be cut across, leading to the old Jurong Road. So from this old Jurong Road, you will hit the T junction over here. This is where the old Bukit Timah fire station is located. So can you see there will be more residential coming up, but of course it's further away from our reserve residences, where the main happening area. Okay, then let us take a look at Holland Plain also. Okay, Holland Plain, it is actually a huge plot which had been vacant and empty for donkey years. But last year, is it last year? No, I think 2 years back, probably. I can't remember which when. So they actually announced that they will convert into another residential area. But they didn't mention whether will it be HDB, will it be private or landed or whatsoever, but we don't know. But based on the master plan, they have already chopped into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 8 plots. 8 plots over here. Okay, 8 plots over here. That will be the new residential plot also. But I'd like to bring your attention to another news announcement then was what? Can you see this subject to detailed planning? And flanking it is Clementi Road. There's an announcement of the Cross Island line then, correct? From King Albert Park leading to Clementi. But in between, there is actually an MRT stop. This MRT stop, that time they were debating where will the stop be. And then indeed, the announcement came out and it was right opposite Maju Camp, if I'm not wrong, okay? And guess what? Because of this change, what is the nearest developments around nearby there? Come on, tell me. I think still selling. What is the development? Correct. Key residences, not Park Clementi's. Park Clementi's still very far away. Key residences. Okay. That time, price already increased. I think then they were selling at about 1,008 per square feet then. But guess what? With the announcement of this train station, train stop, they were selling, I think they both about 600 meters from their side gate to the MRT station. So with this announcement, right, key developer 𝗳𝗏𝗄 actually increased their price to about 2,000 per square feet. 2,001 per square feet. But looking back at current market, 2,001 to buy a 999 years. 2,001 to buy a 999 years. Is it affordable? It is cheap, right? I would say. So not just us when we're trying to sell using master plan. Developer also use this opportunity to increase the price. You know what I'm trying to say? So master plan actually not just helping us, but also helping developer and squeezing the buyers dry . Okay, I mean, yeah. Okay. So you'll see, there will be two, okay, so these two new plots coming up. So with the current residential units hitting new high, with these new upcoming plots, just ask your clients this question. How much will you reckon be the future new price in this area, in this vicinity? How much will the prices in the surrounding vicinity be pushed up as well? Because all these are future now, we don't know what the plan, what they're going to be coming out with, right? So 你现在不买的话，几时要买嘞? Wait until the price go up already, then you regret, you know? So this could also be a exit plan for your client who actually invested in the reserve residences as well. Okay? Okay, just now I was talking about the future planning, you know, they are changed into a residential plots, etc., etc. But what is happening right now that's closer to us? Do you all know about Dover Forest? Dover Forest, actually last year they have a very huge debate whether should government be clearing the forest for new development, or then there's a lot of people debating, no, it shouldn't, you know, this is a forest area, there's a lot of ecosystem inside. So end up, government, what do? They keep half, they conserve half, and they clear the other half. So what happened? See, 3,000 BTO flats. This could be your exit strategy. 3,000 BTO flats to be built in Dover Forest in Ulu Pandan area. This will be the first of the 3 projects launched last year, November. Okay, can you see from this? This is the entire Dover Forest. It is actually right next to Dover MRT, opposite before you hit the landed, after the canal, then the landed. Okay, so the view there is fantastic and amazing. But of course, the price is amazing as well. Can you imagine how much is the BTO going to cost? You see, Ulu Pandan Banks, 3-room starting from 362,000. 4-room starting from 516,000. Okay, of course, that's without grant. I usually buy BTO, not much grant you can get, unless you're the very, very privileged, you know. But then, this is starting from price. I have one agent's friend, okay, they are probably in the age of about 20s, you know, looking to buy BTO. And I know about the price starting from 500+, and those with a higher floor and good view, it's quite crazy. It's hitting about 600+ to about 700,000 for a brand new BTO. How much are they going to sell in future for this place? I believe easily crossing 1 million, right? Especially with those with a better view. And when those people, they want to sell, after MOP, Pigu Yang confirm they sure want to sell already. Where are they going to? Living around the area, of course, I'll move to a better location. Probably they might consider Beauty World area. And the reserve residences will actually be one of your, this could be one of the exit plan when you sell your reserve residence. This could be the group of buyers that you'll be targeting in future also. Okay. So with BTO selling at this kind of prices, how much do you think, or it will it affect the surrounding private developments also? You know, you just ask your clients this question. You know, sometimes you don't even need to answer them. They'll have the answer for themselves already. Okay. Now, this is the exit strategy I'm thinking of, the first one. Second, now, at the beginning and midway through the slides, I actually mentioned to you beauty wall area, right? I point out to you, can you see my pink color circle area? There is also another blue color plot, which might be an integrated development also. Okay. Now it's empty. This plot is where the Beauty World Town, Beauty World Market previously was sitting on. Now is the open air car park and the previous Verdale show flat was located at. Pretty big plot, I would say. There, this is the place. This is the area that I mentioned. Future development over here. Same thing. Do you think plots, GLS plot in future, will be selling higher and higher or cheaper and cheaper? Tell me. Do you think government will be selling the land cheaper, especially right next to MRT in a transformation area? By then this launch, I believe the whole beauty world will be revamped already, right? For sure, your client will say they'll be selling more expensive, right? Confirm, right or not? But I tell you something, my client, okay, that time they're looking at the link over here, right? That time they were selling about 2004 to 2006 for the smaller units. People thinking, wow, okay lah, yeah lah, freehold lah, you know, link to MRT law. But then 2004, 2006 is crazy price It's quite crazy But then it was fully sold in one day, and think end of the day only left with 2 3-bedroom units or so, something like that. It was fully sold. Crazy. Then now you think back, 2004, 2005, 2006 for that location. Now, is it cheap? It's cheap, right? For freehold development, and then it's near the MRT. Then it's a mixed development. 2004, 2005, 2006. It's cheap, right? Then now comes the reserve residences. I tell you, I will sure tell my clients faster go and buy reserve residences. Although it's not freehold, but you are in an integrated development transport hub. I would say it's very different also. Okay, it's in an integrated integrated transport hub. Okay, so I tell you, if they don't take action now for the reserve, okay, if they don't take action now for the reserve residences, can you imagine when this future development over here, right next to Cheong Chin Nam, the open air car park, they're going to launch, will it be more expensive than the reserve residences, even though it is a 𝗫𝗏, integrated transport hub, right? So I don't want my clients to regret in future. They already regretted once for not going for the link. I don't want them to regret again and not going for the reserve residences, because when this future plot is going to launch next time, I'm pretty sure it'll be more expensive than the reserve residences. Okay, so this is my second exit strategy that I'd like to share with you guys. Okay, let's look at the chat. Any questions you guys have for me? Sorry, what's 𝗵𝗶?
No, is this your mental health?
Okay, never mind. Okay. So, okay, I'd like to just summarize okay, my points of what going through with the master plan, the changes in the whole beauty world and everything. So the reserve residence is not only a rare integrated development like Jia-Ming mentioned, okay? It is also an iconic development in the heart of District 21. It also boasts the biggest shopping mall in Bukit Timah itself, okay? Best yet, you are right next to the nature reserve. There are only 1.8% of integrated transport hub in Singapore. I think it's less than 15 units only, okay? But how many of them actually give you the free view of the surrounding surrounded by 3 nature reserves? Rifle Range Nature Reserve, Bukit Timah Nature Reserve, and Bukit Batok Nature Reserve. And you are in a transformational area. Okay, so with that, I'll end my slides. Okay, and I hope you guys feel excited like me and the rest of the leadership team, because looking at this blueprint itself excites me a lot, because I've been staying there for quite some time. You know, you see a lot of developments coming up, etc., etc. Now you will slowly see the time when I first talked about the master plan, that was in 2019 or 2020. I think 2020. Yeah, when 𝗺𝗵𝗴 first launched. Then you don't see you see the link coming up slowly. You see that time you don't see the rail corridor, still very raw. Now everything, anytime you go to a rail corridor, you'll see a lot of people walking the place, families bring their families out for a walk, etc., etc. You know, slowly, now the Bukit Timah Hawker Center will be moving very soon, in a few months' time. You'll see more changes coming up in the whole area, especially when the reserve residences is launched. Okay, so
do you know that there will be an upcoming iconic integrated development emerging in the once sleepy town of Beauty World? Let us take you through the wonders of the area.
The Reserve Residences is situated in the heart of Bukit Timah and just minutes away from various nature parks. You can enjoy the scenic views of nature right at your doorstep. You can refresh and rejuvenate yourself through hiking trails or explore routes at the Bukit Timah Reserve, Rifle Range Nature Park, or Bukit Batok Nature Park.
The convenience of an overhead link bridge over Bukit Timah Road and Janin Road connects you to the new community hub.
Easy connectivity to major expressways like PIE, KJE, and BKE.
Explore this 24-kilometer rail corridor, which stretches from the north at Woodlands Checkpoint to the south at Tanjong Pagar Railway Station.
From walking, jogging to cycling, choose your preferred method to explore the area.
This brilliantly curated development is the new vibrancy of Beauty World.
At the heart of Bukit Timah, it will host the biggest shopping mall with about 20,000 square meters of retail and F&B outlets. This development will also offer 732 residential units, approximately 160 service residences, and about 2,000 square meters of community space.
The Reserve Residences is located within 1 kilometer of reputable schools such as Methodist Girls' School and 𝗵𝗿𝗀 Presbyterian Primary School.
Bukit Timah Primary School and Ngee Ann Polytechnic are also within 1.3 kilometers.
Existing precinct is surrounded by many retail shops, F&B outlets, and eateries.
Along Cheong Chin Nam Road, Bukit Timah Plaza, Beauty World Centre, Bukit Timah Market and Food Centre, and many more.
The Reserve Residences has direct access to the Beauty World MRT station via a connected pedestrian underpass and a fully air-conditioned integrated bus interchange located right at your doorstep.
With